Have you ever walked through the deep, dark woods and felt like you were being watched? Have you ever heard the snap of a twig when no one else was there? What if I told you that something was hiding just out of sight? What if the shadows had eyes? Deep in the gloom of the ancient forest, a creature lurks. It is not a monster from a fairy tale, but a living, breathing thing called the Goblinus vulgaris, or the common goblin. But there is nothing common about the way it hunts. Look closely at the darkness. Can you see those glowing orbs? Those are its large eyes. See, they are not like yours or mine. They are huge, round, and designed to catch even the tiniest glimmer of moonlight. While you stumble in the dark, this creature sees the world as clearly as if it were noon. It doesn't just see you, it hears you too. Long before you even step on a dry leaf, it knows you are coming. Look at the sides of its head. Do you see those pointed ears? They stretch out wide, twitching and turning like radar dishes. They can hear the heartbeat of a mouse or the breath of a lost traveler. Why are they pointed? The shape helps funnel every tiny sound down into the ear canal so nothing escapes its notice. The creature stays perfectly still, blending into the background. It is waiting. It is wondering if you are a threat or perhaps a snack. Its physiology is built for this exact moment, the moment of silent observation. It is a master of patience, letting its senses do the work while its body remains frozen in the shadows. Next time you feel a chill on the back of your neck, don't turn around too quickly. You might just be staring into those unblinking, saucer-like eyes. What kind of face belongs to a creature that lives in the dirt and the dark? Is it smooth and kind? Or is it rough and twisted? If you were brave enough to shine a light on the goblin, you would see a face that only a mother goblin could love. The first thing you might notice is the hooked nose. It curves downward, sharp and beak-like. This isn't just for show. A nose like this is a powerful tool. It sniffs out damp rot, old bones, and fresh mushrooms hidden under the soil. The hook shape protects the nostrils from rain and debris as it snuffles through the undergrowth. It smells the world more than it sees it. Below that nose lies a mouth that should make you shiver. It is filled with sharp teeth. These are not flat teeth for chewing vegetables. They are jagged spikes made for tearing. When the goblin smiles, it isn't friendly. It's a warning. These teeth are yellowed and grimy, perfect for crunching on beetles or gnawing on tough roots. And what sits atop this craggy head? A lonely tuft of hair. It sprouts from the scalp like a patch of dead grass on a rocky hill. It's coarse and wiry, doing little to keep the goblin warm. It is a sign of a life lived in harsh conditions where comfort is unknown. The face of the Goblinus vulgaris is a map of its survival. Every wrinkle, every sharp angle, and every twitch serves a purpose. It is a face designed to scare away rivals and eat whatever it can find. It is the face of pure, unfiltered greed, staring out from the gloom with a hungry grin. Why would a creature need skin that feels like sandpaper? Imagine living your whole life crawling through thorn bushes, jagged rocks, and muddy holes. Soft skin would be cut to ribbons in a day. That is why the goblin has rough skin. Touch it in your mind, of course, and it would feel like the bark of an old oak tree. It is leathery, thick, and covered in warts and bumps. This skin is its armor. When the goblin squeezes into a tight cave or slides down a gravel slope, its rough hide protects it from scrapes and bruises. The color is a sickly green-gray, a perfect camouflage that makes the creature look like a walking stone or a clump of moss. When it stands still, it becomes part of the forest floor. But the body is not just hard. It has a strange shape, too. Look at its middle. It has a round, sagging pot belly. Gee, you might think this makes the goblin slow, but you would be wrong. This belly is a storage tank. The goblin never knows when it will find its next meal, so when it eats everything. everything. The distended stomach can digest the toughest, nastiest things you can imagine: rotten meat, poisonous fungi, even bones. This physiology tells a story of survival. The goblin is not a warrior in shining armor. It is a scavenger. Its body is built to endure the wet, the cold, and the scratchy, biting world of the underground. It is an ugly vessel, yes, but it is a survivor. That potbelly rumbles with hunger, driving the creature forward, while its rough skin brushes against the damp cave walls, silent and scratchy, like a dry leaf dragging over stone. How does something so strange move without making a sound? You might expect it to stumble, but the goblin moves with a creepy, fluid grace. Look down at its legs. They are not straight like yours. They are bowed legs, curving outward at the knees. At first glance, they look weak, but they are actually like coiled springs. This shape allows the goblin to stay low to the ground, crouching and creeping without losing its balance. It can scuttle sideways like a crab or spring forward like a frog. The bowed shape gives it a center of gravity that is perfect for navigating uneven, rocky terrain. It never stands fully tall. It is always ready to dodge or pounce. And what meets the ground? Not shoes and not soft toes. The goblin walks on clawed feet. These are terrifying tools. The toes are long and tipped with dirty, sharp nails that are more like talons. These claws dig into the earth, giving the goblin a perfect grip. It can climb wet trees, scramble up slippery rocks, or hang from a ledge with ease. When it walks, the claws tap, tap, tap softly on stone or sink silently into the mud. It leaves behind strange, scratching footprints that would puzzle any tracker. The physiology of its legs and feet makes the goblin a master of the duck and cover. It can squeeze into a badger's hole or perch on a thin branch. It is a creature of the ground, forever connected to the dirt by those hooked, grasping toes. It moves like a shadow, low and quiet, powered by those strange, bent legs that never seem to tire. A creature this small and ugly needs help to survive in a big, dangerous world. It doesn't have magic, and it doesn't have friends. Instead, it relies on what it can find and what it can steal. The Goblinus vulgaris is a tool user, but its tools are as dark and crude as its heart. Held tightly in its hand, you will often see a crude dagger. This isn't a sword made by a blacksmith. It is a jagged piece of metal, perhaps stolen from a trash heap or sharpened on a stone. The handle is wrapped in dirty leather. The goblin uses this not just for fighting, but for everything: cutting roots, skinning prey, or prying open crates. It is a nasty, rusty little weapon. Dangerous because it is dirty. A scratch from it would surely get infected. Nearby, you might find the remnants of its lunch, a rodent skull. To us, it's gross. To the goblin, it's a trophy and a tool. Maybe it uses the sharp teeth of the skull to scrape hide, or maybe it just likes to keep it as a reminder of a good meal. It shows us that the goblin is a predator of small things. It rules over the rats and the mice. And what fuels this little engine of destruction? The forest fungus, The goblin is an expert at finding mushrooms. It knows which ones will make you sick and which ones will fill that pot belly. It plucks them from the damp earth with its clawed fingers. The dagger, the skull, and the fungus, these are the treasures of the goblin. They are simple, dirty, and grim, just like the creature itself. They tell us that life for the goblin is hard, and it must use every scrap it finds to stay alive. So, we have put all the pieces together. We have examined the Goblinus vulgaris from the tip of its pointed ears to the claws on its toes. We have seen the large eyes that watch from the dark, the rough skin that shields it from the thorns, and the bowed legs that let it creep silently through the night. This is not just a drawing on a page. It is a biological machine built for mischief and survival. Every part of its body has a dark purpose. The hooked nose finds the food, the sharp teeth eat the food, and the pot belly stores the energy to keep hunting. It is a cycle of greed that never ends. Imagine you are back in those woods. The sun has set, the air is cold, You remember the crude dagger and the rodent skull. You realize that the forest is not empty. It is the home of the common goblin. It is out there right now, crouching on a mossy rock, scratching its rough skin and sniffing the air for the scent of something new. Is it a villain? Maybe. Is it a monster? Perhaps. But mostly, it is a creature trying to survive in a world that doesn't want it. It is ugly, it is smelly, and it is dangerous. But it is also fascinating. So, the next time you see a mushroom cap knocked over or hear a rustle in the bushes, pay attention. The physiology of the shadow is real, and it might be closer than you think. Keep your eyes open and step softly. The goblin is listening.